Hey, welcome back. In this piece, I want to share with you something that, might be considered a little personal. But it's the mistakes, some, not all of them, because I would run out of internet space if I was to share with you all my leadership mistakes. Flat out run out of space because there's been so many. But what's interesting is what I did with those mistakes and what you can do with those mistakes when they happen. You know, a few of them have to do with people. A few of them have to do with actions, activities, and hey, do we go left or right? Oh, let's go right. And turns out we should have gone left. Little things like that, you know, we learn from. And that's where it all boils down. When you talk about mistakes, when you talk about failures, which is a word I don't care to use, and I'll explain that one here in a minute, it's what do you do with them? It's what do you do when that thing happens? I'll give you a really quick personal example. So Monday, I was going for one of my walk around the neighborhood here real quick, do a quick lap of the street, if you will. And it's wintertime here. And our street is icy. And there's one spot that I know is icy. So I'm being extra careful on that spot. Well, I get beyond that spot to where I believe I'm in a more safe zone, except I wasn't. And next thing I know, feet are out from underneath me. I'm laying on the ground. But you know what I did after I did the personal assessment, make sure all the bones and joints are all still in the right place? I got up. And you know what I did? Even though my mind said, well, should I go back down my driveway and sit in my office and go, whew, man, I'm glad I didn't get hurt? Or should I finish that walk? Guess what I did? I finished that walk. We're talking about something so simple, but this is an example of what you do when you make a mistake. So what mistake did I make? What did I learn in that moment? Because you know what? I went back out and I walked a couple more times. And as soon as I stood back up, it was still slick ice space. So I adjusted my pace and I adjusted where I walked. I learned from that happening, from that mistake, from taking that route to taking a more safe and secure route and adjusting the pace that I was on, that I was taking, no longer big giant strides, move out. Let's slow it down a little bit and make sure that it's sure footing and keeping my balance and staying focused. That's what I learned from that. And what's interesting is if you can do this in one space in your life, slipping on the ice, then you can do it in another space in your life. That's the great thing about being who we are. If I can do something in one area of my life, if I can be focused and skilled and dead set on what I'm going to do, make a mistake and learn from that mistake by walking on the ice, then you know what? In business, as a leader, I can do the same thing. If I slip and fall, if I struggle, if I make the wrong step and I lose my footing in business and I fall down on the ground and I find myself looking up going, all right, let's do a check. Let's do a check of our numbers. Let's check the bank account. Let's check the employees. Let's check the billable, our accounts receivable, our accounts payable. Let's check the hours that we've put in. Let's check our client engagement. Let's check our data. Let's make sure all these things are where they should be. And then assess and move forward and not make that same mistake again, not slip on that ice again and make the mistake.